Live from the internet, it's the Dr. Tom the Frog Show!
Hi-ho! Welcome to the Dr. Tom the Frog Show, where we talk about role-playing games! I am super excited to have on a very special guest. We have Senda, is it Linaugh?
It's Linaugh.
Linaugh. Senda Linaugh. And she's like a podcasting maven, and she did all kinds of things. And so we're going to talk to her about all the stuff that she does. Welcome to the show, Senda.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Tom. It's great to be here.
Welcome. You are one of our first guests of the new season. We have the swanky new set, so I'm excited to have you here.
It's
you
very
filled
fancy.
The chair well. Oh, you've got a cool-looking shirt there. Can we take a look there?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Okay, so let's just jump right in. I understand that you started off, where you kind of hit the scene with a podcast called She's a Super Geek. So I'm curious, what are her powers? Was she made in Champions or in perhaps like Savage Worlds?
So She's a Super Geek. It's actually me and my friend Emily, my best friend Emily, and we named it that because we were looking for something to call the podcast that would kind of tell people that it's both really geeky and that it's always going to be about women running games. So we ended up going with She's a Super Geek because it's kind of a riff on, she's a super freak.
Yes, the song. That's your very
the song. Yes, and so we named it She's a Super Geek. There isn't actually an official super geek besides that Emily and I are both super geeks.
I see. So I can return Cat Grant's calls and say no. There is no super geek. Senda is not a super geek. Okay.
No.
Make a note of that, Rogers. Okay. All right. Cool. So it's always women GMs. That's pretty cool. What about? So why only women GMs? Just because you happen to be a woman? I'm a little curious.
It's actually specifically because there are a ton of podcasts out there and some really wonderful actual play podcasts. And one of the things that I noticed just myself personally that I was having trouble finding was podcasts where women were actually running the games. I could find podcasts where there were women playing the games. Uh-huh. And there's a couple of notable exceptions to that. So the campaign podcast from the One Shot Network that Kat Cool runs, which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I have checked that one out. Kat is pretty great. She is able to corral all of those crazy monkeys pretty well.
Yes. And then there's also Cthulhu and Friends, that's run by Veronica, and she's a very terrifying GM. So, but other than those two, I really couldn't find other podcasts to listen to that had women running GM, or that had GMs running that were women. And representation matters, and it matters to me because I like to be represented in the media that I consume. So it was a moment that Emily and I decided that we were going to change that. We were going to specifically just add to that number. So we did.
Nice. Well, I have to say, I have checked out a few of the She's a Super Geek, and you guys are pretty great GMs. And anybody, if you're not listening to the show, it is super worth it. I love it because the format's pretty short, right?
Well, it's an hour, so
I mean, well, seriously,
it's about a commute. Yeah, it's not a Phil Vecchione podcast. It's what you're saying, I think.
Oh man, did you shots fired, Vecchione? Anyway,
yeah,
no. I mean, a lot of the actual plays they're like 3 or 4 hours, and like
we chop it up into nice little bite-sized chunks. Yeah, because you should be able to listen to it. I feel like in a day, or. I think there's a lot of folks that their commute is about the same length as mine. Mine tends to be about an hour. So I really like an hour-long podcast because that takes me from my front door to my office, which is great. So I followed that format of the podcast that I was already really enjoying because it worked really well for me.
Yeah, there you go. Make the show that you want to listen to because if you edit it, you have to listen to it a lot, I hear.
I do, yes.
You like that one, Roger? See, that's give you props there. Don't forget you have to edit this one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be nice to him. He's going to edit it. He's going to be the one that makes you look good.
He's my production assistant monkey. I don't have to be terribly nice to him, really. It's like an internship. Anyway, okay. Now I understand that you have another show but I'm not actually going to ask the question because I have a friend. Her name is Bebe. And Bebe would like to ask because she has a little bit of concern about this show. Okay, so do you mind? Okay, all right. Hold on. I'm just gonna sit down.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Bebe, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Aww.
Hi, Senda. My name's
Hi,
Bebe. I understand you do a podcast called Panda Stalking Games. I don't think that's very nice.
No,
Why would you
but it's
stalk
not.
me?
It's not Panda's stalking games. It's Panda's talking games.
Uh,
We don't actually stalk pandas.
Wait, you
Promise.
You
I
said
promise.
that you. I don't know. Well, anyway. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, well, never mind. Thank you.
We love pandas. Bye.
See? It's fine. She had a concern, but it was unwarranted. Anyway, well, never mind. All right, so Panda's talking games. Right, okay.
Yeah, we talk games. We talk the
So
games.
you don't possess games. Like, it's not Pandas the possessive talking games. It's multiple pandas that are talking about games.
Well, to be slightly more confusing, there is an apostrophe, and there's an apostrophe because it's actually Phil and Senda's talking games. So Phil and Senda possess the talking games show, but we shorten that to P and A. So like we smushed our names together, so it's Panda. So it ends up looking like possessive pandas talking games because it's Phil and Senda's talking games.
Oh. That's super confusing. That would take up the back of a T-shirt if you have one of those. Just wow. That's so. So what's the deal with pandas talking games? You guys are the pandas then, and you're just talking about games?
Sure, we talk about games. We actually answer listener questions. So we get all sorts of topics from Twitter and email and Facebook and all over the place. And what we do is we do a theoretically short form show that usually ends up being about 45 minutes. And I usually answer questions from the perspective of a one-shot or a convention game, and then Phil answers questions from the perspective of a long-running campaign, because those are the two. He's run a lot of campaigns in his life, and he actually finishes them and stuff. And I run a ton of one-shots because I have a convention addiction, and I have a podcast where I run one-shots. So we kind of split it up as experts in both of those types of games and then answer questions from those various viewpoints. Sometimes we branch outside of that and stock game designers, but mostly it's just one-shots and campaigns and a lot of outtakes.
Aha.
Uh-huh.
So is Pandas stalking game designers? That's good. That's pretty clever.
Sometimes. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Sometimes it's Pandas stock game designers. Yeah.
Do you have their heads on your wall somewhere?
No, we just confuse them and make them sing.
Ha!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. I like that. Awesome. Okay. All right. Good. So now we've got the pandas apostrophe figured out. That's for you.
Mm-hmm.
Our outro song guy, Paul. That drove him batty. So I had to ask about that. Right.
Right. There's a lot of people that are like, that's really wrong, and we're like, no. It's Phil and Senda's talking games, because it was talking games starring Phil and Senda, but there's another talking games podcast, and we failed at Google, so we changed it.
Yeah, because there's not enough podcasts, so we need just SEO.
Yeah,
somethings of others. Okay.
Yeah, right. We don't step on anybody's toes.
All right. Okay. Well, now I understand that in 2017 you might be working on making a game of your own, because that's what podcast people do. See, first they play games on a podcast, and then they write their own game. Then all they do is talk about their game for forever.
For forever. Hydro Hackers is really cool. No, not working on it.
It's another one, Vecchio. You're getting slammed here. Flames.
Good thing you just had him on recently.
Oh, he's got to come back now.
Yeah, now he has to come back to respond, right?
And sing.
And sing, yes. You should make him sing. Definitely do that. I don't have a lot of details to share yet, but it's probably going to be Magical Girls.
Oh, because you like magical girl stuff.
I do like magical girl
you're
stuff.
Smart.
Yes.
Everyone likes magical girl stuff the best. That sounds cool.
Yeah, transformation sequences and super floofy dresses and magical powers, kicking butt. Yes, I'm a fan.
I good. And mechanics for rolling dice.
Yes. Well, I mean, some.
Some? Okay, all right. Well, I'm down for that. If you're in a playtest phase, you just let me know because that sounds really super keen.
Sure. Yeah. And
Okay.
we're going to get there.
Cool. All right. Well, podcasting world, you got any other podcasts that you're doing? Is this the whole work of Senda for right now?
This is the whole work of Senda in podcast land right now. Sometimes I write occasionally for Gnome Stew, and I am actually also jointly running now the Misdirected Mark Productions Network.
What?
Yes.
Did you know that I've recently found out there's no Mark in Misdirected?
I know. Well, there used to be a Mark.
There's something about this network. They're really the names of their shows are very confusing.
Panda Stalking Games, yeah, Misdirected Mark. Sure, I can see that. Yeah.
That's fine, though. I mean, because once you get past that, you can just listen to the good content. Okay. All right. Enough of this messing around. It's time for a serious question.
Okay.
Are you ready for a serious question?
I'm so ready, Dr. Tom.
I don't think you look serious, though. That's the problem.
I have a lot of trouble looking serious. I've recently acquired the nickname Giggles, so you just have to trust that this is my serious face.
Yeah, because we could be here for a while waiting for the... Okay, that's serious. Okay, we're going to... Mark it. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Okay. All right, here we go. My crack writing staff has come up with the true serious question, Senda. Are you... Okay, here we go. Pandas or geeks?
Oh, man, that's like you're asking me to pick between my co-hosts.
It's like mean, that.
Right? That's really mean because if I pick pandas, then Phil's gonna get a glitter bomb.
Oh, what? Wait,
I feel like there's an implied threat on my decision here. So I feel like I might have to protect him from the glitter bomb and say geeks.
Okay, all right, geeks out there. There are more geeks that watch this show than pandas, so good for us. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, Senda, it was really great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on the Dr. Tom the Frog Show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's awesome. I've never been interviewed by a frog before.
Well, I've never interviewed Sendas before. You're my first Senda, actually. So if you know any other Sendas who are also in games, you let me know, okay? So I can up my Senda quotient.
Sure. You know any other frogs, you know where I am. You know how to get hold of me.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell Mod. He will solely. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Senda. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Tom is a frog, a doctor and a frog. He lives on a log in the middle of a bog. He likes to talk about RPGs, and his guests are the bee's knees. Thank you for watching. He is Dr. Tom. He is Dr. Tom the Frog.